In the history of aviation, very few machines have changed the way humanity experiences distance. The Boeing 707 was one of them. It did not simply carry passengers from one city to another. It compressed oceans, transformed international business, and helped create the modern idea of global travel. Before its arrival, crossing continents was still a long and exhausting journey measured by patience as much as by distance. After it arrived, the world began moving at a different speed. More than 1,000 aircraft based on the 707 family would eventually be built, serving airlines, governments, and military operators across the globe. Its influence reached far beyond the passengers who sat inside its cabin. The aircraft shaped airport design, airline economics, and even the future generations of Boeing jets that followed. And yet today, when people think about the most legendary aircraft in history, the 707 is often overshadowed. Many remember the massive Boeing 747 as the symbol of the jet age. Others recognize the 737 as the aircraft that carried billions. But before those icons existed, there was another aircraft that made their world possible. So, how did a jet that transformed aviation forever become a machine many people no longer recognize? Before the Boeing 707 appeared, commercial aviation belonged to a completely different world. The skies of the early 1950s were ruled by propeller aircraft. Machines like the Lockheed Constellation, Douglas DC-6, and Douglas DC-7 represented the peak of what piston-powered airliners could achieve. They were elegant, proven, and trusted by airlines that had spent years learning how to operate them efficiently. For passengers of that era, flying was not just transportation, it was an event. The vibration of large piston engines, the constant sound of propellers cutting through the air, and the long hours spent crossing oceans were all considered normal parts of the experience. Air travel was still something rare, expensive, and often reserved for business travelers, government officials, and the wealthy. The industry believed this was simply how long-distance aviation worked. Aircraft manufacturers continued improving piston designs, adding more powerful engines, longer ranges, and better cabins. Each new generation pushed performance slightly further than the one before it. But these improvements were becoming smaller. A flight across the Atlantic could still consume most of a day. Airlines depended on complicated engines that required increasing levels of maintenance. More speed and more capacity were becoming harder to extract from technology that had already been pushed close to its limits. The world outside aviation was changing faster than the aircraft serving it. International business was expanding. Global connections were becoming more important. Passengers wanted to reach distant places faster. The question facing the aviation industry was no longer whether piston aircraft could improve. The question was whether they could keep up with a world that was beginning to move beyond them. By the middle of the 1950s, commercial aviation had reached an uncomfortable reality. The aircraft that had built the modern airline industry were also beginning to hold it back. The problem was not that piston airliners had failed. In many ways, they had succeeded beyond expectations. They connected continents, proved that long-distance passenger routes could work, and turned flying into a serious global industry. But success created a new challenge. The more people wanted to fly, the more airlines needed aircraft that could travel farther, faster, and more efficiently. The existing technology could no longer deliver dramatic improvements. Engineers were fighting against physical limits. To gain more performance, piston engines became larger and more complicated. More power required more components, more maintenance, and more operational costs. Every improvement came with another compromise. A slightly faster aircraft meant greater mechanical demands. A longer range meant more fuel and more complexity. The industry was trying to stretch a technology that was approaching its natural ceiling. At the same time, the expectations of passengers and airlines were changing. A world becoming connected through business, politics, and tourism could not depend forever on journeys that consumed enormous amounts of time. Airlines understood the danger. A company that could move passengers across the world faster would not just have a better aircraft, it could completely redefine the market. The next generation of aviation would not be won by making the old machines slightly better. It required something fundamentally different. But building that future meant taking a risk few companies were willing to accept. The answer came from a company that, at the time, was not even the leader in commercial aviation. During the early 1950s, Boeing was known far more for building military aircraft than passenger airliners. Its experience came from machines designed for a different purpose, where speed, altitude, and advanced engineering mattered more than passenger comfort. But Boeing saw something others hesitated to accept. The future of aviation would not belong to the company that created the final and most advanced piston aircraft. It would belong to the company willing to leave that era behind completely. In 1952, Boeing made an extraordinary decision. Before any airline had promised to buy a jet airliner, the company invested millions of dollars of its own money into an experimental aircraft known as the Model 367-80, later remembered simply as the Dash 80. It was not a guaranteed success. Airlines were cautious. Jet technology was still associated mainly with military aircraft, and many questioned whether ordinary passengers would accept this new type of flying experience. For Boeing, the project was a gamble. The company was not just designing another airplane. It was trying to prove that an entirely different future for commercial travel was possible. Every decision carried risk. The aircraft needed to be fast, but also practical, revolutionary, but reliable enough for everyday airline service. The Dash 80 was created to answer one question. Could the speed and performance of the jet age be transformed into something millions of passengers could actually use? Boeing believed the answer was yes. Now it had to build the machine that could prove it. Turning the Boeing 707 from an ambitious idea into a real airliner required solving problems that aviation had never faced before. Speed was the first challenge. Traditional aircraft designs were built for the slower world of propellers. Simply adding jet engines to an old airframe would not create a revolution. At higher speeds, the aircraft needed a completely different approach. Boeing's answer came from years of experience with advanced military aircraft. Instead of a conventional straight wing, engineers developed a swept-wing design that allowed the aircraft to travel efficiently at speeds piston airliners could never reach. The result was not a small improvement. The 707 could cruise hundreds of kilometers per hour faster than the aircraft it was replacing. But speed created another problem. A jet airliner could not succeed if passengers felt they were entering an experimental machine. It had to transform military-level technology into something predictable, comfortable, and commercially practical. The solution was a new kind of passenger experience. 4 powerful jet engines were mounted under the wings, creating a design that improved performance while also making maintenance more practical for airlines. The aircraft flew higher, above much of the weather that had affected earlier generations of air travel. The journey itself began to change. Passengers who were used to feeling every vibration and movement of piston aircraft suddenly experienced something different. A smoother, faster flight, where crossing huge distances felt almost effortless. Then came the business challenge. A faster aircraft was meaningless if airlines could not make money operating it. The 707 needed to carry enough passengers and fly enough routes to justify the enormous investment required. Boeing adjusted the aircraft from its original prototype, including changes to the fuselage, because airlines needed a machine that matched real commercial demands rather than just engineering ambition. The final Boeing 707 was not simply a jet-powered version of what came before. It was a complete redesign of what an airliner could be. Every major decision followed the same idea. Remove the limitations that had defined the old age of aviation and build an aircraft for the world that was coming next. When the Boeing 707 finally entered airline service, the question was no longer whether jet travel was possible. The question was how quickly the world could adapt to it. In 1958, Pan American World Airways introduced the 707 into passenger operations, marking the beginning of a new chapter in commercial aviation. What had once seemed like an uncertain gamble became the aircraft that forced the entire industry to reconsider its future. The difference was immediately visible. Routes that had once been defined by long travel times and multiple limitations could now operate with a level of speed and efficiency that passengers had never experienced before. Airlines around the world began moving toward the jet age. Major carriers including Pan Am, American Airlines, TWA, BOAC, Qantas, Lufthansa, and many others adopted the 707 because it offered something the previous generation could not: a new economic model for international travel. It carried more passengers, completed journeys faster, and helped reduce the cost of flying over time. The impact reached beyond the aircraft itself. Airports had to change. New facilities, equipment, and infrastructure were developed because the world was preparing for a future built around jets. For Boeing, the success was even greater. The 707 transformed the company from a manufacturer mainly associated with military aircraft into one of the most important names in commercial aviation. The gamble had worked. The aircraft that many questioned before it existed had not only entered the market, it had changed the expectations of an entire planet. But in aviation, changing the world does not guarantee that the world will always remember you. The Boeing 707 had solved the biggest problems of its time. It proved that jet aircraft could be safe, profitable, and capable of replacing the piston airliners that came before it. Yet the very revolution it created also prepared the way for its own replacement. Once passengers accepted jet travel, speed alone was no longer enough. Airlines began looking for the next advantage. They wanted aircraft that could carry more people, operate more efficiently, and reduce the cost of every seat even further. The question changed. It was no longer, can jets replace propellers? The new question became, how large and efficient can jet travel become? A new generation of aircraft began answering that challenge. The Boeing 747 arrived with a completely different vision. It was not designed only to make flying faster. It was built to make global air travel available on a scale the early jet age had never seen before. Its enormous size and recognizable shape turned it into a cultural symbol. Later, aircraft like the Boeing 737 would dominate shorter routes and become familiar to hundreds of millions of passengers. The 707 had opened the door, but the aircraft that walked through that door afterward became the ones the public remembered. The machine that created the future was slowly hidden behind the future it made possible. The Boeing 707 was not forgotten because it failed. It was forgotten because it succeeded so completely that the world it created eventually became normal. Before the 707, the idea of crossing oceans at jet speeds was extraordinary. The aircraft represented a future that many people had only imagined. It turned a new technology into an everyday part of human life. But once that transformation happened, people stopped noticing the machine that made it possible. The generations that followed became larger, quieter, more efficient, and more visible. The Boeing 747 became the icon of international travel. The Boeing 737 became the aircraft millions encountered on ordinary journeys. Those airplanes inherited a world the 707 helped build. History often remembers the final symbol of a revolution more clearly than the machine that started it. The 707's greatest achievement was not simply its speed, its design, or the number of aircraft produced. Its greatest achievement was proving that the jet age could exist. It changed what passengers expected from flying, changed what airlines demanded from aircraft, and changed the distance people believed separated one part of the world from another. The Boeing 707 did not disappear because it became irrelevant. It disappeared from memory because its ideas became everywhere. The Boeing 707 represents one of the strange patterns of history. Sometimes the machines that change everything are not the ones that remain the most famous. They arrive at the moment when the world has a problem. They challenge what people believe is possible. They create a new standard that every generation afterward follows. And then, slowly, they disappear behind the progress they created. The 707 was never just an airplane. It was a turning point between two different versions of the world. One where distance still controlled human movement, and another where continents could feel connected in a matter of hours. The aircraft completed the mission it was built for. The world moved forward. Newer and greater machines took its place. But every modern passenger jet still carries a part of the revolution that began with the Boeing 707. Because changing history does not always mean becoming the symbol everyone remembers. Sometimes it means creating the future that everyone else gets to inherit.